I like where I am today. I don't want to be 16 again. I don't want to wear a short skirt and a crop top and dance in the rain. Sorry, no offense to Simran, Rahul and Anjali की story. Train के बाद क्या हुआ?
That is true though.
हाँ, ट्रेन के बाद क्या हुआ था? हाथ तो दे दिया, लंदन कैसे पहुंचे? पासपोर्ट कहाँ था? God has made you in a particular way, and for what God has not made the way you want it, there is always makeup.
Or surgery.
I feel infidelity is the last step, really, in the breakdown of a relationship, really. So there are a lot of things before infidelity that I object to before infidelity comes about.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guests today have, I'm pretty sure, been through their own trials to be where they are in the positions that they are today. They are people who have fearlessly chosen products and characters and stood by them. And I don't think it's easy to do that in this industry. I'm talking about, of course, the cast of Trial. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Kajol. Hello, Suparn. And hello, Jisshu.
Hi.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank
you.
Our pleasure.
But I meant what I said in the beginning, and I think you all have been through your own individual trials, like they say it. And here's one that I want to know. You know, you said that the character that you play, Noyonika, you know, it feels personal. And let me try to analyze why you said that, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I also feel like as a celebrity, and as a female actor, I feel like the kind of judgments that you're faced and the decisions of what your family members or they do is a different kind of ball game.
Absolutely.
And you are someone who has never made conventional choices from the beginning of her career, and people have always said that that won't work. And you had to fight for being where you are and to get those meaty roles. And I feel like even Noyonika in her own way has fought for the kind of cases that she wants. You know, there is sexism that she has to go through it, and of course the slut shaming and the shaming that comes with, even when it's not her fault of the family. I feel like that's an analysis I completely understand, Kajol, that you would make in your mind. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and could you elaborate?
Noyonika, when I said that it felt personal was because I feel that Noyonika should feel personal to every woman out there.
Yeah.
Because she does. She stands for every woman out there. And I think any woman who is married and has kids and does a job and you know, manages everything as well is Noyonika. And they will in every which way identify with her, because I think anyone who has kids and is put into a position where you have to choose between two paths, I would say, you will take the path that is practical for you, because at the end of the day you have two children to take care of, and that path may not be the most ethical or maybe not the most morally right path, but you will do it. You will do whatever is necessary to get the job done. And I think that's the one thing that everybody agrees with, every woman would agree with looking at, and every man would agree with as well. The stable, sane men, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. That being there. But, you know, interesting. Of course, Ajay very jokingly said that ye sabka hi case leti hai, which is true with you. But I feel like humor also makes your life easier, right? People often ask you, oh, how have you managed to balance your marriage life? You're so happy, you're so like, you know, all of that. But I'm sure it's not easy. I feel like that humor and that dark humor kind of also helps you, right? Because you're constantly, you in your marriage or otherwise, constantly on limelight because of your profession, right?
Yeah, because of your profession also. And I feel humor just has a lovely way of turning your perspective, you know, into when you look at something in a humorous way. The situation, अगर आपके सामने कोई आ जाए और दो चार गाली देके चला जाए, तो अगर आप उसको फनीली देखो कि यार इससे क्या गाली दी है, ये गाली तो मैं याद रखूंगी, ये घर जाके बताने वाली गाली है कि यार ये आया और इसने मेरे को क्या माइंड में गालियां दिया, ये तो मैं घर जाके आई विल डू अ फुल एनैक्टमेंट ऑफ इट. मतलब मैंने ये सिचुएशन पूरी तरह से चेंज कर दिया. या तो मैं घर जाके बोलूं, पता है उसने मुझे क्या कहा, मेरे दिल पर चोट लगी है और मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि आज रात को मैं 2 पेग पी के सो जाऊंगी. Now, which one is healthier for you to take? And yeah, and absolutely right about that. I feel that marriage is work every day of your life, and I've said that time and again, and I think Ajay agrees with me on that. And if both of you have to work hard at it each and every day, it's not something that like जैसे वो it's like you know that Rahul and Anjali की story. ट्रेन के बाद क्या हुआ?
That is true though.
हाँ, ट्रेन के बाद क्या हुआ था? हाथ तो दे दिया, लंदन कैसे पहुंचे? पासपोर्ट कहाँ था?
That is true. It must have been struggle. That is the story.
Exactly.
That is why
पासपोर्ट के
the
लाइन में खड़े हुए पहला झगड़ा हुआ जब तक लंदन पहुंचे ब्रेकअप हो गया.
that is why the part 2 is not happening. When people keep asking,
Exactly.
the real reason is that.
Absolutely. So, so I think relationships generally, as time goes on, you have to work at it and hopefully build things together.
Work in
If you,
progress.
it is a work in progress, and every day is a work in progress, and you can't give up. You don't have the option to give up, really, and say that हाथ ऊपर कर लिए एक दिन के आज तो कोई मूड नहीं है बाबा, आज तो मैं taking the day off. So
Can't happen.
yeah, can't happen.
Suparn, of course, I love your work, which I said that to you when we met today. And I particularly am a huge fan of The Good Wife and The Good Fight. Like I was obsessed with when it came for a while, like I told you. So now here's what I want to ask you, Suparn. I know that when you adapt something, it has to be extremely palatable for the audience that is here, right? And so many things that cannot be used or that can be used have to be put into your mind when you're doing that. I want to know what were a few things that you wish you could have or you thought you could have, but you decided to not let go of it. And also, keeping in mind the sensitivity of the socio-political climate, does it make it difficult for writers and creators to sort of today be as authentic as they want to be?
So, two things. In terms of keeping stuff I wanted to keep and could not keep, there's nothing. In fact, rather I had the luxury of adding more stuff to it because this show was 15 years ago.
Sure.
Things have changed a lot since then. More stuff has happened. Our society has in fact got more, it's gone militant in terms of wokeness. There is a different kind of toxicity that exists.
So true.
So to kind of contemporize that gave me the opportunity to put much more into it. Relationships have changed. Infidelity, you know, has changed completely. I mean, with social media today, slipping into someone's DMs or liking posts in itself constitutes to infidelity in a way, right? So the layers of infidelity have kind of got much longer and it's a much bigger discussion arc to that. What people are okay with, not okay with has changed even more. You know, sexualities have changed so much more so in the last few years. So things are rapidly evolving. That gives us the opportunity to kind of adapt this into that milieu, number one. Number two, Noyonika Sengupta's character as compared to Alisa's character, she's an Indian woman. A Western woman, not just her values, the society around her judges her differently.
Yeah.
Our Indian society is much more harsher with a woman. Even if something happens to her, she is judged for it rather than the other way around.
Precisely.
She is rarely the victim.
Yeah.
We do victim shaming more than victim surviving, right?
100%.
No matter what happens to her. So, Noyonika not just begins at the bottom of her life in this show. She, I mean, it gave us an opportunity to show Kajol in a very vulnerable state. And Kajol is a very strong actor,
100%.
person in general. So is the character also. But we now get to graph it. Starting with someone whose confidence is broken, whose family is shattered. She's starting literally at rock bottom in every way. Professionally, personally, and then finding herself. And then making choices. Which, what I liked about the original as well was, it's a grey zone. There are no right and wrongs. And then, because we changed the entire legal cases and the way law, you know, is different from the jury system out there, it gave us a chance to kind of bring about an interesting dichotomy between her real life decisions being mirrored at times by the cases she's kind of solving. So we kind of got to make the show completely our own while keeping the soul of the original intact and create something much more interesting.
Woohoo. So now I'm looking forward to it even more. I wish I could have seen some, but I'm sure they'll send me soon. So there you go. But yeah, agree with you in so many points. Jisshu, of course, before I even ask the question, I'd like to make a comment. You know, I've heard a lot of female actors, when we have discussions, talk about how difficult it is to cast the male lead once the female actor is the protagonist. Because, and particularly extremely talented actors, and women have been doing that for a while, right? Like the protagonist.
Absolutely.
I mean, I talk to a lot of my friends who are writers, and they all will agree that getting that little sellable person for a protagonist, female protagonist film or a series is, you know, it's extremely difficult.
I'm there.
You are
I'm always there.
exactly. Now you know why I made that comment.
मेरा पति सिर्फ मेरा है.
But like I said, I'll make that comment. You have, you're an absolute huge star who's walked your work, whoever has watched his work, and you must, if you haven't, from all kinds of films, Bengali of course, but from South and other films that you've done here. You have always been extremely secure in selecting the characters that don't have to be extremely morally high, that can be morally corrupt, that is not the protagonist, and particularly in movies that are extremely comfortably led by women, as they like to put it, right? And I think this is an observation and also an appreciation for you. While I want to know, where does this thought process come from? Because I know a lot of actors who might be, who think they are stars and they are stars, are not really okay with putting their ego aside by doing these decisions. And I feel you've always been that person.
To be very honest, I've never thought of it. Trust me, I've never thought of it. And it is not for the first time that I'm doing this.
Sure.
I've been doing this for almost a decade now.
I know.
And I still go back and I because, I have that liberty to do what I want to do, because I get an opportunity to play a hero again.
Exactly.
And I don't know how many actors get the liberty to play a villain in one language and get an opportunity to play a hero in another language and play a character artist in another language. I love it.
Exactly.
Trust me, I love it. I'm going back in 2 months' time and playing a hero. I'm actually in 6-7 days down the line, I'll go and play a villain, an outright bad villain.
Yeah.
And here I'm playing a grey character who's doing, I don't know, he's figuring out his life, and also because of him, his wife is going through hell. And again, the film which is releasing, which is a comedy film, and he's playing a detective who's basically it's a comedy film. It's a one-night story. So I love this. So why shouldn't I do it?
You sound like a sailor with a girlfriend at every port, right?
Do I?
Some fun questions. I call this nothing but the truth, but I think this interview pretty much will be that, because all three of you have nothing to hide.
कहाँ सच्चाई लिखा है, प्यार लिखा है, कारण लिखा है, धोखा
आप
लिखा है.
सच्चाई से काम करते हो, Suparn. You cannot make projects without truth. See how I spun that into your favor. Okay.
I can change it around in a second, but anyway, I'll keep quiet.
Don't. Wasting time. Okay. Nothing but the truth. First, Kajol, here you go. Then I'm going to go to all right. This is the order. All right, Kajol, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. A character or a movie you regret playing on screen or would have done it differently today?
I don't regret any character or movie that I've played.
Is there any character you would have done differently today?
All of them, because today I am a different person. At that time, I was a different person.
Okay. A misconception that people mostly harbor about you, but which is absolutely untrue, of course, and
A misconception?
it can be a trait or something, like something that they think, oh, Kajol's maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Brilliant.
This is a misconception that is absolutely untrue.
Yeah, it's a misconception that I'm
He's
perfect.
playing you.
Lots of people,
yesterday
lots of people say that I'm perfect. Yes.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, but it's a misconception. I'm imperfectly
Good one.
perfect.
And that's how it should be. Okay, good one. An advice to female actors joining this industry today.
God has made you in a particular way, and for what God has not made the way you want it, there is always makeup.
Or surgery.
No, that's
And
the
good
whole
lighting.
point.
That's the whole point.
I think it's a choice.
It's a
Whether you
choice,
go for
sure.
makeup or surgery, it should be a choice, not pressure.
ठीक है,
Exactly.
उसका opinion था ना, हाँ,
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That it should be a
Choice.
personal choice. Now, you shouldn't do it only because 25 people have told you that you
Someone asked you to
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
Fair enough, okay. Infidelity is absolutely a no-no for you. You can give me a different answer also. If not a yes or no situation like the film.
I feel infidelity is the last step, really, in the breakdown of a relationship, really. So there are a lot of things before infidelity that I object to before infidelity comes about.
How do you deal with the ageism that exists in the industry, and tell us about a situation?
Ageism that comes in the industry. Well, the fact of the matter is that ageism also, I think, somewhere down the line exists in your own head, which you have to get rid of.
Sure.
And once you do get rid of that,
It's a part
I think
of the patriarchal cycle anyway.
it's a part of the fact that honestly, I'm only taking myself.
Sure,
I'm
of
not
course.
taking any more
But
examples.
this for you only.
But but I like where I am today. I don't want to be 16 again. I don't want to wear a short skirt and a crop top and dance in the rain. Sorry, no offense to Simran.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy playing Noyonika. I think she's cool, she's kick-ass, and I really, really like her. So,
Nice one. Okay, a female actor you think is very underrated and needs to get more roles to explore?
needs to get more
Roles to
I would say variety, but
Variety.
I think somebody who's really, really underrated and hasn't got the probably range that she deserves is Madhuri actually.
I agree. Here. Okay, a quality from your co-star that you'd like to imbibe, and it'll come in very useful for Noyonika as well. Number 1, SRK.
From SRK?
Yeah.
Oh, his ability to remember everybody's dialogues.
Oh my
He
God,
has
that's going to
this-
come handy.
He has this awesome memory. His memory is like he's like a gigantic photographic memory ka dabba. I swear, he just remembers. He comes on set and he knows everybody's dialogues, and I'm always amazed at how he does that. So yeah, that definitely from him.
Amazing. Okay, Rani.
I haven't worked with her. Honestly, only kuch kuch hota hai.
हाँ.
But
Dhanush.
Dhanush?
Yeah.
I think he's a great. I mean, I think he's a great co-star, and he's wonderful to act with, and he's a fabulous actor. He's an absolutely fabulous actor. I think I would love to say his humility, but I will never take it. That's the only problem. It'll never stick.
It won't be
I would
believable.
love, yeah, it won't be believable. Nobody will believe it.
इतनी भी अच्छी actress नहीं करती, acting कर सकती
वही
है।
ना, मैं बोल सकती थी humility, लेकिन होगा नहीं, रहेगा नहीं मेरे साथ. मैं वापस दे दूंगी.
ठीक है. Suparn, first your question is, as a writer, few things you'd like to change in the industry, which will be helpful for everybody.
As a writer,
Yeah.
pay the writers the most.
And credits.
Credits they get. I think honestly we're in a great time and space right now where writers are getting more due respect and better money than before, with especially the SW doing a lot of good work. But I think they deserve more credit, more respect and more money, and hopefully things will keep changing as we go along.
I have more, but chal, theek hai. One more. Jisshu, just one. Okay, this is a quick one. A Hindi film role you regret saying no to?
Yet to come.
Oh, really? You mostly said.
Mostly I've said yes. No,
Said yes to something that he wants to do.
हाँ.
He didn't regret any no's basically. He's like, thank God, बच गया.
वो ही हुआ है.
I like the deductions even more than the answer. Thank you. See, like you put one person and then you have the lawyer and the director jumping in to give deductions. I love that. But thank you so much. This has been really fun, and like always, I'm really looking forward to honestly one of your biggest trials of your lives. All three of you, if I can say
The
that.
trial July 14, Disney Plus, Hotstar.
There you go. So subtle as
यार
always.
कानून धोखा भूल गए ना.
प्यार कानून धोखा.
बिल्कुल प्यार कानून धोखा.
देखा?
धोखा! इसलिए बताया था.
I didn't want to say that at all. But thank you so much. Not dhoka at all. But thank you once again.
Thank you.